There is a video that caught my attention on TikTok. Now, let me give you the background. Enra, a celebration, now a anniversary of, should we even call it celebration? Anyway, Enra, a da several years ago, you took Kwame Nkrumah every year so, right? Enra. Na Kwame Nkrumah ne grandson me hu ne video bi e TikTok na or threaten same way so or explaining nyama bi. Now I want us to go watch that video, but there will be a twist to the video because I want to have a discussion on it. But before we go, and then your first time or her subscribing, click the notification bell on this. So we understand latest news be about one side Ebeka. Obi biara wo hwe me se we fu sun na opese we fu ba for mo a book no screen so no me recommend am book no betra wonyama miensa wo di so pepepe a me ma 1 month pe we fu ebeba for me amene mo kase emre bi by you are seeing me and then the same person me amene ti nyame wo book ni mu no ene ma and then me ho ato me say intino if you want the book, the hard copy, and you are outside Ghana, this right go on Amazon and search for your action plan for weight loss. You get the book. If you want it and you are outside Ghana, you are going to get it. It will be shipped to you wherever you are. Or Ghana, Fred 055-807-4986. Number no that year book no the form one. There is also a link in the comment box. You can click on it and then get the book downloaded on your phone. Now, Yentie Kwame Nkrumah, the grandson in Semwa. Okay, Yentie.
Throw of my grandfather, Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the founding father of Ghana. Today marks 60 years since the overthrow of my grandfather, Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the founding father of Ghana. A day that not only changed the course of my family's life, but also the course of Africa's history. And today I want to tell you the story of what really happened. On the morning of February 24th, 1966, my grandfather wasn't in Ghana. He was abroad on a peace mission, invited by Ho Chi Minh to help bring an end to the war in Vietnam. The coup plotters had waited for this moment and they struck while he was gone and thousands of miles away, so he couldn't return in time. At around 5 a.m, the family woke up to the sound of gunfire. A fierce gun battle had broken out at Flagstaff House, the presidential residence. Inside the house, my grandma Fataya, she gathered all the children and she told them, even if they shoot, you are protected. Nothing will happen to you. And they knelt down and prayed together. At some point, my grandfather managed to call the family. He told them to have courage, have no fear. He reassured the family to let them know that nothing would happen to them. The shooting went on for a while. The presidential guards had decided they were ready to die protecting the family. Then all of a sudden, the shooting stopped. The coup soldiers had threatened to bomb the house and attack the family if the guards didn't surrender. So to prevent further loss of life, they laid down their arms. The coup soldiers then forced their way inside the house, moving room to room with their rifles, destroying everything they could see in front of them, and they even killed one of the most loved maids right in front of the children. My father, Gamal, who was just 7 years old at the time, he recalls one of the soldiers aiming a firearm at them, and his hands were shaking. He looks at him and he says, "I know you don't want to do this, you're nice people." Because you see, the truth is a lot of these soldiers were young and naive, and a lot of them had been lied to and misled. Outside, violence spread across Accra. Innocent civilians were being killed and injured. Homes were being burnt down. Anyone who supported Nkrumah publicly was at risk. In McCullough Market, an elderly woman had a picture of Kwame Nkrumah behind her. The soldiers come and they try to take the picture of her, and she refuses. She refuses 3 times, and the soldiers, they shoot and kill her right on the spot. On the same day, Colonel Kotoka and 25 of his men, they arrive at Major General Barwa's home. They demand he either join them or surrender. Of course, he refuses. They shot him at point-blank range right in front of his wife and kids, and they even killed 7 of his security officers. The soldiers then searched my grandfather's home, expecting to find gold and money, as they've been told. Of course, all they find is papers and books, blueprints for Africa and for Ghana that he'd been writing. And he said what hurt him the most out of everything they destroyed was a book that he'd been writing on Africa's history. This book was due to be in the curriculum for every single African to read to understand their history, and they destroyed it. Inside Flagstaff House alone, around 20 people were killed and over 25 people were injured. Across the country, over 1,600 people were killed and many more injured. Yet it was later framed as a bloodless coup. Thankfully, my grandma being Egyptian, she managed to contact the Egyptian embassy, and with the help of the Egyptian president Gamal Abdel Nasser, they managed to find safety for the family. But even then, soldiers escorted my family to the airport while still holding my grandma at gunpoint, and they were forced into exile to Egypt. It's fair to say after that day, nothing was ever the same again, neither for the family or for Ghana, or I would even say for Africa. So who was behind the coup? You see, during that period, Ghana was filled with many traitors and spies. Members of the military and the police conspired against Kwame Nkrumah. But the real masterminds weren't just in Ghana. They were in Washington, in London, the CIA, British intelligence, the MI5. They had spies all across the city. They funded fake protests, and ultimately, they orchestrated the coup. In the 1960s, Africa was under siege. African leaders were being killed, overthrown left, right and center. And Kwame Nkrumah leading the African Revolution was seen as the most dangerous man on the continent. There had been many assassination attempts on his life, and when that failed, they used propaganda to demonize him. They labeled him a dictator. They said he was a communist. They said he was power hungry. Propaganda was used to justify his removal. And today, 60 years later, we are still experiencing the consequences of that day. Because this wasn't just an attack on one man, it was an attack on his vision for Africa, a united and independent continent. While violence tore through his home, Kwame Nkrumah was across the world trying to end the war. He was betrayed by some of his own people, but he never stopped believing in Ghana and in Africa. And he believed that even after he's gone, the people will continue to carry his vision forward.
Forward forever!
So, with Kwame Nkrumah, the grandson, right? Explaining idea Kwame Nkrumah. For me, I think say one of the things me yakra or say Kwame Nkrumah no true book about the history of Africa. Ananka ye betre African Libya ye history. Because Africa for ye beside your history, ye name Obia on a story. But Kwame Nkrumah had done the research and was about to put out a book. Almost saying in Do you know the twist I am adding to this particular video? The twist is this. For several years, some people and Ghana for a believe say the introduction of coup into a year Ghana politics mu a NDC, but no quarry. In fact, you can the first beneficiaries of coup d'etat the NPP, but that time the party the NPP because social woman benefit here from Kwame Nkrumah they are two no na Buzia emu saa wo mo nkrofo ne omo asefo no saa nkrofo na asefo na NPP efiri mu bae nti na ke ye kan wo mo di coup d'etat and no benefit from coup d'etat first wo Ghana ha pa NPP for enananom omo. A lot of people don't know this, but you see NPP for enunti no mo mpe Kwame Nkrumah asem eka NPP nko a nka Kwame Nkrumah de nka obia enim ne ho nsem. But the reason why they can't do anything about Kwame Nkrumah and they say people all around the world praise Kwame Nkrumah ehuno to say hero enunti na NPP for to menya ne hwe eka omo nko a nka Kwame Nkrumah ne legacy ebewu inti obi bia ye inti if me who young guy no say Ope Kwame Nkrumah asem no say support NPP ya na ho ye besire because clearly o party no they don't believe in the ideologies of Kwame Nkrumah. Omo dada yan ache. Se mo hu de to Kwame Nkrumah. Nti enne say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Aban say yes sa kotoka ne din na da airport ne so ne aye na Accra International Airport. You should know. So Kotoka was one of the people that were mama ye to Kwame Nkrumah in free idea. So Montreal mo adwo comment box them. Answer me be economist tonka we ni eje car ne ho a na wa contact me. A Toyota BZ5. One of the solid electric vehicles at Toyota for aye. Car we obe charge wo fie. O charge wo fie a so wo nkran a obetumi de akọ Kumase e de aba esanso de akọ so wo charge ne full ya. Toyota car into hu ne say very strong. O hwe infotainment screen no ni bibia to me hu ne say very modern what you say. Into no friend number na wo screen no. Let me show you the number you should call. Fred number we 0542026935935 05420269335 and in a friend my would deal so person into you for Montreal comment box.